This is a case about three young boys whose lives are all connected. Starting with John Venables, a 10-year-old who was born on August 13, 1982. Growing up, Venables' father was absent and he lived with his mother, Susan Venables, who is conceited, selfish, and a flirt. Venables feared his mother and was never shown care and firm love from his mother. In school, Venables had a record of violence for strangling another boy. He had difficulty with learning and behavior and would skip school on a daily basis, leading him to meet Robert Thompson, another 10-year-old boy who was born on August 23, 1982. Thompson had no father figure, causing his mother to fall into deep depression and would go to bars and drink, leaving her children home alone torturing each other.
Although these two boys were neglected by their parents, it is still no excuse on the horrendous actions they took. On February 12, 1993, two 10-year-old boys, John Venables and Robert Thompson, abducted and tortured 2-year-old James Bulger. Earlier that day, John Venables and Robert Thompson skipped school and ended up at the New Strand Shopping Center. And a surveillance camera captured a picture of Robert Thompson and John Venables holding a 2-year-old James Bulger hand, leading him away from his mother, taking him to a secluded area near a kennel, where they dropped Bulger on his head and left him there crying. They called him by saying, "Come on, baby," and put his hoodie on because of a bruise he received from his fall, and began to walk him to the railway embankment. On their way, many people noticed that Bulger looked distressed. Some people witnessed Bulger being kicked in the ribs and shaken by Thompson for resisting, yet no one did anything. Many people were satisfied with the boy's explanation when asked what was happening, since James Bulger was crying for his mom and had noticeable injuries. Bulger constantly skipped away from the safety of other people's ignorance. Finally, they arrived at the railway at the time between 5:45 and 6:30. The brutal torture and murder of James Bulger occurred. Using the blue paint they stole from the mall, they splashed it into Bulger's left eye. Then they kicked him, pummeled him with bricks and stones, and stuffed batteries in his mouth. Lastly, they hit Bulger over the head with a 22-pound iron bar, which caused 10 skull fractures. Bulger sustained 42 injuries to his face, head, and body. John Venables and Thompson placed Bulger's dead body across the train tracks so the whole thing looked like an accident.
Robert Thompson and John Venables were both charged with murder on February 20th, 1993. They appeared on court on February 22nd, where they stayed in custody awaiting their trial. The trials opened at Preston Crown Court on November 1st, 1993, conducted as an adult trial. They received 10 years in prison, but Mr. Howard appealed ruling over 15 years sentence. But in 1999, the European Court of Human Rights criticized that both boys did not receive a fair trial for being tried in an adult court. Lord Wolfe paved the way for Thompson and Venables' early release on June 23, 2001.